Hi, me again. Right, Fullspeed Toothpick Pro today. Been flying this for a couple of weeks just to see what I think of it, rather than just like coming straight out and telling you after one flight. What my impressions with it were. Originally, it comes with these props, which, although they fly ever so well, they don't hold up very well in a crash. They don't break, but they bend. You bend them back, and you get them as straight as you can. Then you end up with a little bit of jello. So not ideal. So what I went for is these 25-40 props, and also I have the Avan 2.5-inch props as well, which I'm going to try next. I think they'll be about the same on these props. You get about the same power, but you get a little bit more speed at the top end and more efficiency. I guess it's the pitch and the 4-blade versus 3 blades. These have got slightly more pitch than these ones, and 3 blades is more efficient, so that makes up for that. But that works out quite well, so I definitely recommend getting some 25-40 props on these sides. I'll put links below anyway. And that sort of turns what is really a very good quad into a bit of a better one that doesn't just break up in a crash with the prop wobbles and everything. So yeah, quite good. So what I'm going to say is where this comes from in comparison to the Diatone r349 and the eachine reddevil. So as you can see, it sits right in between them size-wise, and it's right in between them power-wise as well, weight-wise and everything. So the R329 has more power, more weight, so it's just faster. But this flies similarly in that it has some weight. So when you're flipping over bushes and things, it's got the power to punch over them, and you chop the power and it carries on over. Whereas this has got the power, not quite as much, and it's not as floaty. It's lighter, so it stops. You fling it over the bush, it gets to there, you drop the power, and it just stops, pretty much. So, whereas this carries on, depending on what battery you put on there. I flew with 300 mAh 3S, and on these props I can get 3.5-4 minutes of mix of cruising and fairly hard power, so that's quite good. And I can also put a 4S in there as well, similar flight times and a bit more power, but you can go. I've ordered some 520 mAh GMBs 4S, and I think on that it will be really good. So it's somewhere between these two. Sits nicely between these two. So where would you want to fly it? It will do the big open circuits that this one will do, and because it's got the speed and the power, whereas this one feels a bit slow in those big open areas. But it will also do the little areas that this one can do, where this one just feels too big and heavy and clumsy. So this does both of them, which is quite good. Obviously not as fast as that one, and not quite as nimble as that one around the corners because of the weight. So it's just one of those things. It's an in-between quad. And obviously there's my trusty bamboo skewers build, which still outflies all of them, if I say so myself. But So it's a 3S or 4S, and I would say it's very good on 3S. On 4S it really livens it up, and it becomes a bit of a beast, really. Pretty good. I like flying it on both. 3S is good for cruising and popping over the trees and things. 4S just gives you more power. So inside it's got the 12 amp separate ESC and a separate receiver. This one's the FR Sky receiver, just one antenna, but it still gets better range than the SPI receivers because the antenna's well away from the body, from the carbon and everything. So range wise it's quite good. It's pretty similar to this XM Plus that's in this one. Just I can fly at the same sort of distances, so that's quite impressive really. And the VTX goes to 200 milliwatts, so that's good as well. You can get a good range around the trees and things, and it's not bad. So the flight controller, I say, is separate to the ESC, so that's an F4, and that will work perfectly well. Capacitor on the back to help with noise and brownouts and what have you. The camera is a Caddx, but it's not the EOS 2, it's a different one, and it's better. It doesn't have the same red hues and the jello that the EOS 2 has. Still not brilliant, doesn't seem fantastic resolution, but it's bright and clear, and yeah, it's quite a nice picture. I quite enjoy flying it, I don't mind it at all. Very acceptable. Yeah, then underneath we've got the XT30 and the battery strap. This isn't what came with it. What came with it was these things, which I don't like because you can't tighten them up very well. So I took those off and put my own one in, one with a little buckle on there that you can pull over and pull it tight. It's pretty good. So they're the 1105 motors, I think. Can't tell. I think it's 1105. It's too dark, very dark and dingy. Raining today. But yeah, they're set up for 4S, so that's why on 3S it's good, but it's not fantastically amazing power. But on 4S it's really got some grunts, but works well on both. But they're nice and big motors. They can take a hit, be stronger than the 1103s in a crash and don't get as hot. They barely get warm on a sort of 3-4 minute flight, fairly hard. They don't get hot at all. There's no problem with just running battery after battery in there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now the shortcomings of the kit was there's no prop tool for getting these screws, for doing these up. The props don't come on. It doesn't come with the props on, so immediately you think, I need something to put those on with. So that's a 1.5mm hex driver you need to get those on. So I would recommend, if you haven't got one, get one of those and get a battery strap, and you're good to go then. It doesn't come with a battery. Seems to be the trend now. I think there's problems with posting batteries now, so they tend not to send them. So yeah, that's I would say it's a bit more costly than the Reddevil, but not a lot. I would think on balance it's worth it. I would pay the extra. This is about $100. This was $80. $106. This was from queuing out with a discount code, which I'll put down below as well. The flight videos are on a separate video. I keep them separate and then review on RC groups and do a video review as well. So I'll link to both of those. So there's no flight review on this review. So if you want to see those, just have a look at the others. Yeah, it's really good. Really good. I think this one's very well thought out. Very strong carbon frames, thicker than the basic version, which I would definitely get this over the basic version. Nicer camera and everything really. It's just stronger, better motors. I was going to say I've lost my train of thought now. This weather's sending me a bit doolally. Anyway, price. $106 versus sort of $85 or something like that. The extra cost is worth it. It's well justified, I think. Slightly better camera, better flight controller, and VTX is similar power. But the motors, better frame, no jello, and the speed control being 12 amp rather than the 5-6 amps in these things. Absolutely makes it worth the extra $20 in my book. You get a lot more quad for your $20. And this one will just give you that extra power for punching around. But still fly on the batteries that come with this. your 300 mAh 3S. I've even flown it on 2S, but it's very weak on 2S. It's definitely, whereas this is a 2 or 3S quad, that's a 3 or 4S quad, definitely. So yeah, I would say it's very good, worth getting this one. Fullspeed haven't had a great track record, with their esks burning out and bits and pieces where people weren't very happy with them. But that seems to have been fixed with this, with the 12 amp speed controller. I've hammered that around on 4S and just, time after time, not just giving it a chance to cool down in between either. And it hasn't missed a beat, been perfect. So I think the quality control issues have been addressed from my experience with this one and from what other people are saying on the forums as well. So yeah, obviously, if you want to see the exact spec, just go and have a look, and I won't go through all the exact details. My reviews are more, what my impressions with it is. Is it worth it? Are there serious flaws with it that need addressing? And where does it fit in? So yeah, so if you've got a park, I would say, I've seen people fly these in the garden, but backyard. But I would say don't. It's too fast for that, for me anyway. It's definitely a park flyer, and yeah, you could fit through small gaps and things with it, like in the playgrounds. But that's where your whoops are for, really. That's more your power whoops area territory, I would say. This is more, set up a little race course, do a bit of freestyle around the trees and what have you. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah. So yeah, please use any links below to buy this or any of the others. If you want a really powerful one, this Diatone R349 is an absolute beast. It's really quick, really powerful. And this is really powerful around your little smaller areas as well, small part of the parks. And this is nice in between. Jack of all trades, if you like, but actually I prefer flying this now over either of these two. I haven't flown that one all that much. This one I've flown quite a bit, but I just find its speed and power and noise. Yeah, that's the other thing. This is very loud. This is pretty quiet, and this is pretty quiet. Maybe just slightly noisier than the Red Devil. But yeah, that's my take on it anyway. If you disagree, please feel free to comment, or if you agree, comment anyway. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Yeah, the next thing I'll be getting is the what is it now? I've forgotten. No, it's gone. I've forgotten. Anyway, it'll probably come to me. It's the Happy Model Lava X. That's it. I'll be getting that very soon. Once it's on order. Once that comes into stock, I'll get one, and I'll put my thoughts on that. My feelings is that it will be similar to this and similar to this, but just maybe slightly somewhere in between again, because it's got 1103 motors, so which are smaller than these. So yeah, just another option. Lots of options. So many of these toothpicks, so-called toothpicks, coming out. But yeah, it's a job to know. It's a job to know which ones to get, which ones are good, which ones are bad, which ones are right for you, really. So yeah, hopefully that will help you decide. Okay, thanks very much, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.